Well, hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for taking your time to be here with me tonight. And I'd just like to give a couple of shout outs initially to our members. Yes, membership is open if you want to support this channel in any way. Just being here is a great way to support this channel, which a lot of you do. Many of you keep coming back every week. And so I've got to give a shout out to Mrs. Austin all the way over in the United States. Hello, thank you very much, Mrs. Austin. You are the first supporter of this channel. And Dogface, thank you very much for coming on board as the second membership. I really appreciate the support. Now, unfortunately, it's pretty warm for me here tonight, and I'm probably a little bit overdressed. It's about 15 degrees right now, 16 degrees. It's clear skies, clear as anything like you wouldn't believe. Nice, clear winter's night here for us. Yes, this is winter. And for most people, they would probably be in they wouldn't have this on. They'd be in a shirt and maybe just a normal hat. I'm just feeling a little bit cool because it is cooling down. It's going to be about 10 degrees Celsius overnight. But anyway, I really appreciate everyone being here. So that's a little bit of touch on the weather. Sorry about that. I was just having a cup of tea just before we got going. Now, a few other people I'll just say hello to that have come into the chat just recently. Peter's in the chat, and Peter's there. My sister, she's come in to say hello. Emma's here. Emma says, nowhere near home yet. Hang on, right. Emma's on the drive. She's, hang on. Where am I? Emma says, nowhere near home. She's driving, watching while driving. Be safe, Emma. Keep your eyes on the road. Thanks for tuning in. I have gone a little bit earlier tonight. G'day to, where am I? Yeah, the G-Meister, he's in the house somewhere. Mr. Funkin' Hungry. There he is. He is here. There he is. Here's Mr. Funkin' Hungry. There he is. Go check out this guy. He does some interesting food reviews, that's for sure. The old Maccas, Clackers, Jackers, and whatever else, and a few other things that you might want to throw his way, some noodles or something like that. Going early caught you off. Well, I didn't mean to caught you off early, G, and it was definitely advertised, early, that's for sure. I just wanted, because of what I do up here, the other night, I only started at 8 o'clock and I went right through till about 9. And I think it might have been getting a bit late for the neighbours and me as well. So I thought maybe just a half an hour early. But thank you everyone for being here. Really appreciate it. So the main aim of this channel is we are restoring a steamroller. The steamroller, for those of you who don't know and are new to the channel, we are currently rebuilding a steamroller. This particular steamroller was built by John Fowler and Company in 1926. And here's a photo on screen now of what it looks like when we brought it home. This was about 7 years ago now, just over 7 years ago. And we're currently going through a complete rebuild, thorough restoration. Of course, like all things, when we looked at it, or when I looked at it, I thought, yep, I'll have this up and running in 6 months or 12 months or whatever it was. 7 years later, we're still going at it. And if you manage to see some of the intro or most of the intro, you would have seen quite a few changes that happened here in the time. We had an old shed. We took that down and built that into my wife's sewing room, craft room, and we built a brand new shed here. Of course, in the meantime, during this time, I broke my ankle as well. So in total, we're probably, if you add everything up, probably about 12 months behind. And we're doing other things as well. Life gets in the way, and general work and all that sort of stuff. But work does help to pay for all these goodies. And I work in the earth moving industry, and it has its advantages, that's for sure. Now, what's the roller going to look like once it's completed? And here's an example here of a steamroller, very similar to this one. In fact, virtually identical. Excuse me again. This is what it'll look like. It'll have a canopy, a full-length canopy like this one has. There has been, over the years, this steamroller of ours sat in a park for at least almost 50 years of its life before it got rescued, way before I even thought about owning a steamroller. And during that time, it suffered exposure to the weather, and also, bits and pieces getting stolen off it over the years. And thankfully, very thankfully, a lot of those major bits and pieces have come back to the roller. So I'm very, very thankful. And now I can just, yeah, oops, I got to stop doing that. I just noticed on this particular illustration is the water pump arrangement, and it's just behind the steering wheel there. And that's a piece that was cast, and I purchased with the help of Dan down in Melbourne, who is currently also rebuilding the same model steamroller. In fact, in terms of serial numbers, they're about 3 engines apart. So this has been an absolutely incredible sort of journey and a learning curve all at the same time. So without further ado, I think I'll jump over to the lathe now, and we'll do a couple of jobs on the lathe that we were going to get done before it gets too late here. I hope you're all well and looking after each other and saying hello to each other in the chat. I've had a bit of a move around. I had the computer over there the other day monitoring Right, we should be back up and running. Thank you very much for bringing that to my attention, everyone. I think my... Yep, okay, so this one died. This is number 2. And as you can see, the battery's expanding and she doesn't last long. So I really appreciate you guys letting me know that I had no sound. I'll put that back in there and get it on the charge again. Why don't you want to go in there? This is live, folks. Sometimes things go wrong. There we go. It's in there now. Let's see if it's back in its cradle. There we go. Oh. Let's see. There we go. Look, cat's in the cradle. She's on the charge, but that battery is no good. So I might have to look at another audio solution. The wireless mic is good. Hopefully you can hear me, no problems. There's some good options out there now for wireless microphones, and excuse me, and they've got some excellent features built into them. Certainly looking at some of the reviews that that are out there at the moment. The one that's really standing out is the Hollyland. It's going at a really good price at the moment, so that might be the way to go. There are cheaper versions, but so we'll just hide that on stream and we'll jump back onto the lathe. Right. So as mentioned before, this is a grooving tool, but it makes an excellent parting tool, which I did make a video about. Right. It doesn't want to play the game. Why don't you want to play the game? Everything looks right. How about I turn that around? Righto. So I'm just going to have a look at the insert. These are a changeable insert on these. Just need, certainly in there nice and secure, that's for sure, but it does come out just like that. Okay. Well, that ends, unless it's sitting up a bit too high. Tell you what, I'll pop that back in. Everything looks good. I did turn this one around. I might even just drop the center height down a bit. And let's check the center height. Now, things are going everywhere. Right, one way to check the center height of your tool. So your tool can be too high, it can be too low. It needs to be nice in the center. So I've just got that on center, and it is showing it's a little bit high, so I'll drop that down. Right. So I'll just back that off. Let's drop that down a bit. So I'm just using my eye to get, I'm putting a little bit of light pressure on there. And that's pretty vertical. I might just go down a little bit more. So what will happen is the ruler will either be that way. If it's that way, it's too high. If it's back this way, it's too low. So at the moment, we want it to be vertical. There's an adjusting nut on the tool. It's looking even better. Let's give that a try. Just see if this is going to cut. Ah, much better. So I'm just winding in by hand. I could actually go a lot faster in terms of revolutions. We're only doing about 300 RPM here. I'll just back off, turn the coolant off. We've still got a bit to go, not that much at all. I'll get down till there's about maybe 3 or 4 millimetres, about an eighth of an inch or so to cut off. And then I'll stop and I'll just wobble it backwards and forwards and just break it off. That's about right. So I'll back the tailstock out of the way, remove that. We're most of the way through, and now you can see how easy I can just, a few turns, and there we are, we've broken it off. So what I'll do now is I'll just put a different tool in. I'll take that little, I'll just face this off. I won't leave it like that. And I'll chamfer the edge. We'll up our speed. So I'm just doing this by eye. I'm moving the two handles at the same time to just put a nice little chamfer on there, and that's very nice. There's no sharp edges. It's always good to take the sharp edges off. This is a fairly long bit of steel, so I'll just take it out through the back. There we have it there. That was our original piece, so we'll put that over in the corner. And our other piece here, put it back in the chuck. I'll do the same again. I'll face this and just put a little chamfer on there. I'll just quickly catch up with the chat. The only problem is, Pete, I've got a cheap set of those mics too, and I just can't plug it into the system as it is. I'm going to have to get some sort of dongle or lead. Once again, we've just faced the end off. I could put the chamfering tool on, but doing it this way helps with the hand-eye coordination. So a nice little radius on there. And that's ready for the steamroller. So I'll just put that over there. And I'll take a swig of water. Because the old mouth gets a bit dry when I'm talking away. Yes, I should put the steel grade on the end. Yes, it's 1020 bar, so I know what it is. I'll get my pen out and write it. Yeah, Mrs. Austin, have a talk to Peter and get him to send you the link on Temu that look, seriously, there's a bunch out there. I'll show you no, I won't show you the ones because they're buried. And I have got them to work. However, the ones I mentioned before are for content creators, and they really are going cheap at the moment, being, you know, with Prime Week or Prime Day or whatever it is. Righto, next on the lathe is this bit of steel here. Now, this is going to be a mandrel for our cylinder drains. Right, let's get our cylinder drains. These are our cylinder drains. Now, my wife put a bit of time into them before last week and done a bit of prep work, taking the rough surfaces off, taking burrs off and things like that, because there's still a rough casting, although many of the bits have been machined. They still need a bit more of a polish up. So what we're going to do, I'm going to get this bit of steel, I'm going to face it so that that will sit in there. That'll be the right size, and I'll be able to bolt that into there. I'll have to drill and tap. It's a little bit of work involved, but then I can set this in the lathe like so, and I'll be able to run the file over these or get some emery cloth or something like that and polish it on the lathe as it's going around. Mainly because this one's not so bad, and Mrs. Shed Talk is she's done a great job, but we just need to do a little bit more work to get them looking just that little bit better than what they are. So we're going to put this in the lathe, we'll face it and we'll drill a hole so that there's on the end of the cylinder drain is a little spigot, little locating spigot. We'll drill a hole to match that. We'll just put that over here. Now, I'll open the jaws up on the lathe. I mean, this might actually be too big. I might have to go the other way. Yeah, let's go the other way. Now, majority of operations on the lathe, depending on little jobs like this, is just finding a bit of steel like I did before, gave a bit of a clean up on the wire buff, and now it's just facing the ends, drilling a hole. Somebody's already been machined this, and this should fit in nicely. If not, we're going to have to put the other jaws in. And so that's stopping it. How about this end? And only problem is that's not going to work. It's going to wobble about the place. Let's see how that runs. Oh, that's running all right. Okay, so we'll work on this end. We'll face this end, we'll get rid of that, and that way we can spin it back around the other way. We're just going to take little cuts until we clean up the surfaces or the face. Once again, I'm just doing this all by hand. Just get my pliers. Now this stuff here is swarf, or, you know, some people call them chips. It's pretty razor sharp, or it can be. Seeing it's blue in colour, it's gotten a bit hot. So best not to do it with bare hands. But that's something I used to do back in the day. Like all things, sometimes you just get used to it. And we'll engage the power feed. Get a nice finish across the face here. Need to take it. I want to get full contact on that. While it's doing that, let's see. There we go. That's starting to, just one more pass and that'll do it. One thing I need to do is give the lathe a clean up. It's a bit dirty. There's a lot of swarf in the bottom. Right. Now I won't do it by hand this time. I'll get the lathe file and I'll just take the edge off that. Right, I forgot to say hello to Mum and Dad. Mum and Dad are watching on the TV at home on the big screen. So thanks, Mum and Dad, for tuning in. Now, we're going to do this one a little bit differently. Okay, so we've got this boring bar here. This is a boring bar. So it does internal diameters. Let's get rid of that fine stuff. So we're going to use this to take out that bit there. In fact, I might try and just break that off with the pliers, with the stubby nose pliers. Make the job a bit easier. There we go, that was easy. And then we'll just get in there and clean that up with the boring bar. Then I'll get the drill in there. In fact, where's our... Let's see what I'm going to do here. Probably should take a bit more off. In fact, no, what we're going to do, we're going to clean up the center. We'll take a light skim off the inside. So these faces here are all going to be parallel with each other. Then I'll turn this around or end for end it and we'll work on this end. Now, for whatever reason, this boring bar is up way too high for what it's got to do. And we know that because of where the tool is sitting. That's because I just didn't have it quite sitting in the right spot. There we go there. And I'll probably just run this in reverse. And we'll fix up our tool is not just quite square. You may be asking yourself, why am I running this in reverse? Right, so at the end of the day, if I got the tool over here for some reason, which I can do, I need to run in reverse so it cuts that way. If I have the tool over here, I need to have it running this way or counterclockwise. And at the end of the day, the machine doesn't care which way it goes. It's just going whatever way I tell it to do. It's what I'm doing with the tool is the most important part. So now I'll run the lathe the opposite way or counterclockwise so that all the cutting we're doing is on this side. Hey. Right, one last thing we need to do, we're going to use this here, the burring tool, just to take that little burr off here, like so. We'll just run our finger over it, and for what we're doing, that's enough. So this face, and this face are all running parallel with each other. It's not really important, however, it does help the process. It's just good practice to do anyway. Now, I did mention before not to play with the swath with your hands, but that's what I just did. So now I can turn this around or end for end it. Get our little brush. Oh, so there's the results. It looks nice and shiny. Shininess is not the big part of it. Hello, what are the shed dogs doing? Come here, come on. Puppy dogs, come here. Come on. Now, by doing what I've just did and turning it around, I've got those faces now sitting up against the jaws of the chuck. Come here. Hey, come here. Come on. Come here. Hey, you two. Come here. Hey, come on. Come here. Come on. Come and say hello to everyone. Righto, let's have a drink of water. Let's see if the shed dogs will come on screen, but they probably won't. Come here. Hey, you two. If I had a biscuit and a cup of tea, they would. Let's have a look. Yeah, Peter, it'll have your hand off. That's right. Oh, I needed that water. That's nice. So we might just do a little, we'll go back to the lathe in a minute, and we'll just do a little interlude here. We'll go over to our channel, and we'll just have a quick little interlude while I have a sip of the water. Where is it? And here we are. This is from, oh, here we go. No, I won't. Oh, it's on there. That'll do. This is way back when we're removing the rear rolls off the roller. Mrs. Shed Talk and I, back when we had the old shed and we were pulling the wheel off. And the wheel, we'd done a bit of prep work. The wheel is held on by a collar on the axle, and they're pretty easy to take off, as you can see. Mrs. Austin, if you've been using it for a long time, yes, it will give off heat, and also the actual machining process, removing the metal, creates heat. That's why you saw me running coolant on there before, because it helps to lubricate and cools the parts as well. Now, even though this says it's uploaded about 8 months ago, I think this was definitely quite some time ago when we started taking the wheels off. Yes, exactly, Mrs. Austin. In this video, we'd already taken the left-hand wheel off. We're taking the right-hand wheel off so we could get access to the gear guard and so on and so forth. Bit of a windy day, but summertime for us back when I did it. I'll have to get the exact date. But, oh my God. So when you park a forklift up, you always tilt the mast down and have the tines touching so that nobody can walk into them. There's another video there that we'll watch at another time, but just for the short interlude while I had a bit of a break and some water.
Tesla stock is crashing.
Well, apparently Tesla stock is crashing. No, it's not. Let's stop sharing that. Hang on. Stop sharing. There we go. And we'll go back onto the lathe while I have a bit more. Right. So we're just going to do the same here. We're going to face this edge. I'm going to take a fair bit off because I want to be able to have a flat surface to get into there. So I will change tools. I'll go back to that other one I had in before, and that's this one here. This is the turning tool that does face across the face, or I can turn across here. Because we got a more solid face, we're holding it on a bit more rigidly. We can chew into it a bit more and get the job done a bit quicker.
And because we're taking a heavier cut, you can see the swarf is coming off differently. And you can also hear the lathe slow down a little bit, making it work hard. One thing I will have to do is I'll have to check the drive belts on the motor at the back of the lathe. I was looking at them the other day and they look a bit loose, so a bit of adjustment is in order, just so we can get good transfer of power from the motor to the workpiece. Depending on the grade of steel, this is a fairly hard grade of steel. It's not just normal mild steel. It will chip differently. And I'm making it work hard with the cuts I'm taking. Fairly laying into it. Getting very close to the desired outcome here. And in fact, I might just put the power feed on, see how that looks. Power feed's going to give a different, I've only got it going fairly slow across the face. I can increase it. Right, I'll just stop and clear this out.
A few more cuts and we'll have that cleaned up across the face and we'll have the desired result. Now I'll just check me AC. We'll go B. Okay.
Righto. Right, so I've upped the feed rate again, the power feed rate, so it's essentially feeding across at a faster rate. Once we stop cutting here, we'll go and we'll take that knob off, get that out of the way. Ooh. Couple more facing cuts. Let's I changed the feed rate again, so we're going in much faster, and you can see the difference in the chips coming off, the swarf coming off, I should say. Also, we're getting a nice polished surface. Just break that edge off. I'll finish it off with the file.
Right, you may notice if you can see that all right, you can see a difference in the surface finish towards the center of the workpiece. So what's happening is, as the tool comes across here, the actual surface speed is slowing down. Now, in CNC machines, as a tool is, if you're doing a facing cut like we did here on a CNC machine, the surface speed, the machine will actually increase in speed to maintain the same surface speed. That may sound a bit confusing, but so we're going to get our center drill now. Our center drill allows us to drill a small pilot drill hole in our workpiece, and then we'll step it up to the required size. Take out our center drill. That gives us a nice accurate hole in the middle. Now this is our little spigot on the end of the, what's the name here? And that's 1/2 inch, 12.7 millimeters. So I'll find myself I'll step it up. I'll do a couple of little, we've done our center drill, we'll do a pilot hole, then we'll go into 1/2 inch. That. Right, when in doubt, go somewhere else. As in, look in another place. Right, here's our little pilot. We're going to run, we're not going too deep, super deep, so we'll just go in as we are. Right, let's turn that off. we'll find our 1/2-inch drill. That's right, I said I was going to go somewhere else. Let's go to another drill box where we've got one ready to go. Half-inch, there it is. Now, over time, you accumulate, or you don't accumulate, you acquire different drill boxes from time to time. I've got metric imperial. I've also got drills that are letter drills. They go by the letters of the alphabet and they're a particular size. Right, so we'll drill our 1/2-inch hole and we only need to go probably about 1/2 inch deep, maybe 9/16, actually 5/8, so about 16 millimeters. Bit fast. Get our deburring tool again and we'll deburr that. Yep. We need to just blow that out. I don't have any air. Let's just get in there with my mouth and blow that out. Righto. Oh, look at that, perfect. Okay. So what I'll need to do now is, let's give you an example of what's going to go on here. Just quickly. Let's take that out. Take that off. So I'll have a couple of bolts on here, or maybe just a couple of dowel pins just to locate on. So we can get in there. If we got bolts on here, we won't be able to get in there in that corner. So a couple of dowel pins would be ideal for that. And does help if you have it in gear. The idea is we'll have it set up like this. Oh, that's a bit high. Go 120. We'll have it going around like this and we'll be able to get in and just clean that up either with the lathe or maybe I'll get a tool in there. I've got various tools that, like this one here, that'll be able to get in there and just take a little bit off and make it look nice. So that'll just make that so much easier to do. But that'll be on another live stream, or I'll make a dedicated video about it, I think. So the next thing to do is to drill a couple of holes in here and put a couple of dowel pins in or something like that. But that's for another time. We've got the job done. So we'll take that out of the chuck and we can shut the lathe down other way. So there we have it, a bit of live machining. So that's our face there with our hole. This is the end. We gripped on the inside, we didn't grip on the outside. And even though we've used this piece for this particular job, there's no reason why we couldn't repurpose it for something else further down the track. Right, I'll jump back over in front of the screen here. Yeah, absolutely right, Mrs. Austin. The sounds are definitely different, but a lot of the sound is actually coming from the machine itself. Here I am, back on the screen. Oh, excuse me, I needed that. Yeah, absolutely right, Peter. Work holding is paramount for best efficiency. Exactly. Yep, couldn't agree more. And your work holding is going to change from time to time as well. That's for sure. Right, highlighted. Let's get that off. Righto. So we've almost gone to the hour, so we're at 8:30 now. So we're probably we'll round it up at that. I think that's more than enough for tonight. Well, that wasn't actually my my thought there, Mrs. Austin, but whatever works. I mean, some people fall asleep to AMSR or something like that, so who knows. Right, just quickly in the video side of things. Hang on, video, share video. And where is it? Nope. Hang on, I know where it is. Let's show our little ad, and our little ad's not there, is it? No. What have I done with? There it is. All right, I'll just play our little ad for the up and coming steam rally, because that's getting ever and ever closer. And here we go.
Steaming under the Southern Cross is back and bigger than ever. Australia's largest display of working heritage machinery, steam engines, vintage tractors and much more. Fun for the whole family. Don't miss it. August 23 to 31 at Kingsthorpe Park on the Warrego Highway.
Righto. So this is getting real close. It's about 50 odd days away. It's turning into a really big event. So, if you can make it, if not, there's probably going to be plenty of videos and other things on available for the watch on YouTube and other places like that. So anyway, thank you very much for tuning in tonight and watching what I do here each week in the shed. There's more coming. We were still working on the steamroller, bits and pieces, work on the boiler and all that sort of thing. It'll be changing soon. We'll be doing more over there on screen, probably more machining on the milling machine just behind me, different things going on all the time. And there's probably there will be some stuff that's done off screen as well. And I need to do like that bloke there, Funk and Hungry, and upload some videos and get something out instead of just doing live streams. But anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in. I really appreciate your support, and have a good night and look after yourselves. Say hi to everyone. We'll catch you on the next one. See you next time. Whistle time.